In the early game of Fantasy Online 2, you won't really notice any significant power difference from most gear you find. But at a certain point in the game, you'll find some gear that are just significantly better than most other you'll find. At level 26, you can start equipping what is known as the tiered armor. The legs will be level 26, chest level 28, headwear level 30, and finally face equip and weapon at level 32. These are really helpful because not only will they be the best at their level, but this is the armor you can upgrade into eventually the best gear in the game in the mid game and late game. Hi, I'm DNA. I started playing Fantasy Online 2 during early alpha on Patreon, but when the game launched on Steam, I set out to start fresh to know what the experience was like for new players. So, to help everyone start out with their tiered armor crafting, I made this video to hopefully clear up any confusion. If you have any further questions, make sure to leave a comment or go to my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/DNAFO2. With that out of the way, let's get into how you can start getting the best gear in the game. I am gonna leave this here to start off. First of all, thank you Navacar for making this and letting me share it on my channel. What you're looking at is the craft sheets for tier 1 stamina, strength, agility and intellect. It shows everything you'll need for the head, body and leg pieces. You can pause the video or take a screenshot. For the record, even though the sheets include ores and chunks, I don't recommend crafting them. I just sell them to the NPC instead. I only use slabs and above to craft, at least for tier 1. To start off crafting, you'll need a pickaxe. There's a few ways to get one. You can buy one from the shops for 10 gems in Crab Coast, Cave of Some Return, Swamp Grotto, Mirabella Cove, and Cave of Despair. Or you can buy one from the global market. You can get one for free from the Miner Zero quest, which requires you to kill all the early game bosses. I will cover that quest line in another video later on. This is the one I recommend for the early game. Or you can buy the golden pickaxe in Forgotten Underground, which is the one I recommend the most. During early beta and release of this video, there's no reason not to go directly for the golden one since you can TP and walk there at any level. You can also buy one at times on the player market. If you need money for all the crafting or just want something to do in the downtime, make sure to check out my other video on how you can make a ton of money in Mirabella Cove. Link is in the description. The complete recipes for the T1 head, chest and legs use Starforged shells, a gemstone of the respective choice, and the blueprints. The gemstones can be found mining both iron and silver veins. They have a 5% drop rate each from any of the veins, so it's just down to luck. You can also craft them in Mirabella using a key you can get from bosses and a gemstone box that you can get from looting any chest. You'll need onyx for strength, amethyst for stamina, sapphire for agility. Intellect uses infused cloth, which you can craft at the tier 1 int crafter with 2 pearls, which you can get from big clams and small clams at the bottom of Mirabella. And I recommend going for the big clams since they have a better drop rate of the pearls. As well as the pearls, you'll need to get some cloth. You can use torn cloth, which drops from wood imp and green imp, but I recommend skipping that step and going directly for the worn cloth from undead cooks and chefs at the top right of Mirabella. The chefs have a bit better drop rate, so I'd kill those if I were you. The blueprints you'll need are both from the Knight Shop, Bastion Shop, Mage Shop and Dragon Shop, a little bit above to the left from where you'll craft your armor. Bjorn, just above the tier 1 crafters, will let you craft Starforged shells for the price of iron and silver shells of their respective parts, a celestial gem and 8k. The celestial gem have a universal drop rate of 1 in 250 from any mob, vein or chest in the game. To get the iron shells, let's head over to Cave of Some Return, which you can find in the top left of Crab Coast. In this cave, you can start mining iron, but you'll also find Blacksmith Billy. The iron loot table looks like this, with the ore being 100% drop rate, the chunk being 40% drop rate, slab being 20%, and as mentioned earlier, the gems drop at a 5% rate each. I recommend only crafting slabs and above, so in total for an entire tier 1 piece you'll need 4 slabs, which you craft into 2 plates. The 2 plates you turn into a reinforced plate. Then you buy a mold for each piece from Shopkeep Mo at the entrance, and you'll get to craft the iron leg shell, body shell or helm shell. Silver plays out just about the same. Head over to Swamp Grotto at the right part of Crab Coast or the left part of Mirabella. Here you will find silver veins and blacksmith Benny. The drop rates also look similar, except the ores are at the 80% drop rate, so the chunks are still 40%, slabs are 20% and gemstones are 5% each. I still recommend going for slabs just like with iron. Just like with iron, you'll need 4 slabs to craft into 2 plates. The 2 plates you turn into a reinforced plate. Then you buy a mold for each piece from Salesman Ducky next to the silver crafter, and you'll get silver leg shell, body shell and helm shell. Now that you have both the silver and iron shells, you can head over to Bjorn. If you still need a celestial gem, it's not a bad idea to buy one from the market, but you can also get one from any mob as mentioned earlier. Some people would go back and kill some really low level mobs too. Once you've got all you need, you can craft the Starforged shells. Now you'll have everything you need to craft the helmet, body piece and the legs. The masks are a bit easier to comprehend, since you only need the blueprints which you buy in the shop, a celestial gem and a respective gemstone or an infused cloth. They do require a ton more money though. If you'd like, while grinding for the gemstone you need, you can sell the gemstones for the other classes to help you afford this craft and other stuff. Congrats! You now finally have the full tier 1 armor. You'll not only be looking really cool wearing them, but your stats also have increased significantly. If you still haven't decided which one you want to go for, you could also go check out my fast class stat introduction to see how the classes play out. There is still one piece of the puzzle missing, and that's the weapon. They are generally really strong and they also upgrade to later tiers. Head over to Cave of Despair at the right part of Mirabella. In here you'll find some iron and silver veins, so if you want you could mine them here to help you on your tier 1 journey. You'll also find gold veins that turns into tier 2, which I will cover in a later video. Head across the bridge and you will find the dwarf gem crafter and the tier 1 weaponsmith. To craft the tier 1 weapons you'll notice you need a few different components. The Desperites drop from any of the destroyers at a 100% rate. The destroyers are the main boss in Cave of Despair. They are probably very affordable on the market too. The bow base, weapon base and wand base drop from destroyers too, with the Destroyer of Will having the wand base, Destroyer of Mind having the bow base and Destroyer of Faith having the weapon base. These drop at a 50% rate, but they are also often very affordable in the market. For the Uber gemstones, head over to the Dwarf Gem Crafter. You'll need 4 of the respective gems, so either 4 onyx, 4 sapphire, 4 amethyst or 4 pearls. You craft the 4 gemstones into 2 mega gemstones, then 2 mega gemstones into 1 Uber gemstone. And then finally, you can craft your tier 1 weapon. Now you have not only a very strong weapon for your level, but something that upgrades into an even stronger one later on. There are going to be better weapons than tier 1 before the tier 2 set you'll find later on, so look out for those. That's it for tier 1. There are some books and rings that are also sort of considered tier 1, but I'll cover those in my tier 2 video later on. They require level 42 to be equipped, so they feel more aligned with tier 2. If you found this helpful, I'd appreciate it so much if you'd like the video and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what other stuff you want to see in the future. Take care.